Okay.
All right, what is up, guys? This is the Apex Dynasty League. We have special guest Oscar, last name Ibarra,
There you go. Roll
however,
those R's, baby. There you go.
tomatoes. Then you also have our rookie and our newcomer, Tom. And then guess what? You also have my kids over here who wanted to make a guest appearances, but it is what it is. So, I'll tell you what, guys, I'm super excited to have you guys here. Again, Oscar and all of your knowledge and everything like that. Tom, you're the rookie in the league and everything like that. So we'll go ahead and get it started, Oscar. I mean, tell me a little bit about yourself, Oscar. Why you like football? Tell me, man. Why are you here today, man?
So I'm here today because I do love football. I started fantasy. I want to say it was very late 2000s, so like 2008, 2009. Big San Francisco fan, and the fact that you could actually pick your favorite players and be able to team them together, so to speak, right? Obviously, you can't pick the best of the best all the time, but still there was a lot of appeal there, and I had heard about it, and I never really had gotten into it. But then once we were able to really get a good group of brothers only, then we made a league, and it's been in existence ever since. And I played for, I would say, about 10 years or so. I've been semi-retired for the last, I want to say, 5 or 6. And the reason is because I'm too competitive and I spend too much time on it. And then I limit myself big time. No Cowboys, no Broncos, nobody in my division. So that includes the Seahawks, which have been very good for the last few years.
Except
no
this
Cardinals,
year.
which have been pretty good as well. And then no Rams, which are now Super Bowl champs. So it really limits myself. So I just became commissioner of a league, I want to say 3-4 years ago, something like that. And I'm strictly just a commissioner. I don't have a roster, an active roster. Essentially, when people play me, it's a bye week. And that's just kind of how I've been rolling these days. But I love to be involved in it. I love to talk about it. As you guys know,
That's
I went
awesome,
over to
man.
Terrence's house to be able to see what was up with your guys' league. So yeah, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, well, that's awesome, man. I'm super excited.
Cool.
With having and bringing that knowledge, just kind of an outsider looking in. I've been in it, so people might be a little bit biased about what I have to say, but completely outsider, kind of looking through, kind of going through some rankings here in a little bit. Super excited. All right, Tom. Obviously, like I said, you're the rookie, you're the newbie here, man.
Yeah,
We
man.
respect you for taking over Daniel's team. I mean, the other guy's team.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
speak of what happened in the past.
we
right?
don't talk about that, man. But no, man, tell me. I mean, how are you enjoying it so far? You've been with us for about 6 months. I mean, tell us a little bit about your background too, man.
Yeah, so I've not done what we're calling this a legacy, right?
Dynasty.
Or a dynasty league, right? Like I've not done one of those previously, so this is new to me there, but not new to fantasy football. I've been a commission in other leagues as well. I started doing fantasy football, probably while I was still in high school. So it's been a long time. Been a champion a few years. I remember one particular champion game came down to a Sunday night game, and like I had Dallas Clark yet to play, and Peyton dumped it off to Dallas Clark, and he ran for like an 80-yard TD, and that was like in the first quarter, and I was like, game over. And I didn't even have to watch the rest of like I wanted to watch the rest of the game. Big football fan, gonna watch it anyway. But I remember that moment distinctly in my fantasy football experience. We've played around with snake drafts way back when, just drawing names out of a hat, stuff like that for our draft methods. But pretty much as soon as auction became a viable option, we moved our league to that back in Michigan. It just seemed like the thing that I realized that I'm, one of the holdouts for auction versus snake and some of our other leagues that we might be a part of. I'm just such a big fan of auction because it gives you the opportunity to manage any player that you want. You're not limited, which is kind of one of the things that Oscar was chatting about earlier, the opportunity to build a team with whomever you so choose, right? And so I like that fantasy football gives us that opportunity to build teams around players that we feel confident in, maybe that season. And then, with this and something that's dynasty, you can believe in a player for an extended period of time. And then, You just know that they're going to have a breakout season, maybe not this year, but maybe next year. And so you tuck them away, you hold on to them for a little bit. So that's appealing. Happy to be here.
Yeah, no, that's fun, man. It's all new to everybody. I mean, obviously this is our first year in. A lot of us, we're still learning. You need to get out of the mind of a redraft, right? Because redraft, oh, I'm going to get my reset of players every year, but a dynasty, and it's funny, I was talking with Jordan, some of the players that I took on my redraft league, I may have took probably the most rookies than anybody else. Maybe they have a lot of potential, a lot of things to prove, but who knows? But that's the fun of it. So I know I kind of got with you guys a little bit before. I know you guys did a little bit of your research. Oscar, I'm kind of anxious to kind of hear and see kind of where you kind of went with your rankings. Again, you don't know anybody in the league. You're just going by off of names and rosters for the most part. So tell me, I mean, let's start it from 10 all the way down to 1. We'll do your list here first and let me know who you have. And, the floor is yours, man.
Okay, thanks, sir. So I had number 10, I had Hasta La Vista, baby. I felt like he or she was very strong at quarterback, but I feel like the rest of the roster wasn't quite, upper tier. And obviously in Dynasty, that's going to happen. No knock, but all these teams are rated 80 or higher for me, which is really good out of 100. So that would be number 10 for me. Number 9.
Let me pause you there. What is your ratings based on? Because nobody here has ratings. So what is your ratings based on? Is it just Oscar's ratings? Is there certain components to the ratings?
So
what do you have?
It is Oscar's ratings for sure, but the ratings are based on if you're a wide receiver, who's throwing you the ball. If you're a running back, what's your offensive line? And then also, you have to take in consideration divisions and stuff like that as well. What your age is, what was your last season like? Are you coming off an injury? So I took a little bit of all that into consideration. And obviously, if I gave you numbers, it would be super controversial and I won't go that in depth, but
I was gonna say, man, I'll be waiting for a full book report by the end of the night.
We're gonna need that after the fact, Oscar. We need
maybe after the recording.
Yeah, sure. I asked Tom for his rankings, and I think he's just like, all right, 1 through 10, boom, 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 boom. 5 seconds later, Oscar's, he's had nights and days to sleep on this, and I don't even think the report is still done yet. But all right, go ahead. So Hasta La Vista, number 10. All right, go ahead.
Number 9, Renfrod Baggins. I feel like he had talent at every position. Running backs is probably the diciest one. Well, actually tight ends, but running backs is solid at the top and then kind of, tails off. That's probably why he was 9th, but I feel like he has a lot more, or she has a lot more balance than number 10. So that's why I went with that team. And then,
I respect that. This is we're sexist in this league, so there's no girls in this league.
Nice.
So
there you go. Okay. They can just refer to all of them as he. Okay.
Right. Gabe is now a she, but we'll put that aside. But no, you're good. We're all he's here.
Okay, cool. So number 8 for me was, where did I have him? Let's see. Eight is number, it's right. Let's see. No, that's not right. Oh man, I messed it up somehow. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry, excuse me. Number 8 is Avondale Pitbulls. Super strong starting quarterback. 2 and 3 are a little questionable. Pretty good, high quality running back. Wide receivers and tight ends is where they fall off a little bit. So that's why they ended up at number 8, or he ended up at number 8. Number 7. Where did I have number 7? Because I had this list and then all of a sudden it went bananas and then I had to redo it because it wasn't quite Tony Tunes. There we go. I feel like he was pretty balanced as well, but the depth wasn't there for me. That's why I had, Tony. Oh, that's my guessing. That's you, Anton. Sorry. Yeah, Tony Tunes is number 7. Yeah, like I said, top heavy.
What are you talking about?
You do need some balance in Dynasty. So I just feel like you're, a couple of injuries away from, going down hard. And that was, like I said, your starters I thought were very, very legit, but your depth is where, if it makes you feel any better, you from the top, 4 points. That's it. That's not bad, man. There was a lot of really close teams in here, so don't get me wrong. You're no scrub at all.
It's my team. It's my podcast. I can talk about my team as much as I want. We're gonna stop there. We're just gonna talk about that for the rest of the day, right? No. So I took an approach. You should have saw. I finished last year 3rd. I was so upset. frustrated. I was like, oh my gosh, like I needed to do something. I had the league's highest trades since the offseason. I've had 11 trades, 5 before the draft, 5 during the draft, and 1 after the draft. 11. The next closest to me was 7, right? As far as rookies, I have 10 rookies on my team, right?
wow.
Again, this is dynasty, baby. Like get what you can now. And then, I mean, I'm hoping, I mean, Damon Pierce, I feel like I hit on him, especially in redraft leagues. Like he's going as high as like 4th round. I got him barely off of the 3rd round in our draft. You know, some guys were even being passed on him. So again, I got a lot of upside there, but I respect it. I'll respect
Oh,
the,
yeah,
the
no.
6th spot there.
The 5-year plan that we're going to talk about later, I think on that one you're much higher for sure. So
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
you're not done talking about me. So okay, go ahead, Oscar. I'll let you finish your list.
No, yeah, definitely. So number 6, I had the teal curtain. I feel like this was I don't think I didn't have anybody ranked below a 78. And by the way, my lowest ranking for any player was 75. I feel like that's the minimum anybody deserves just because they're in the league, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? So, but the teal curtain had no 75s, and most of my rosters did. So I feel like he was very balanced. Had some top level talent, but not a lot like other teams for sure. So that's why he's not quite top 5, but. Top 5, here we go. Where is number 5? Let's see. Oh, here we go. A team RPTX 85. So he had 395s on his roster in my book. That obviously is a very good start. He had a couple of 90s, and he actually also did not have any 75s, believe it or not. So that's the second team with no 75s. Number 4, who's number 4? Los Pollos Hermanos. He had a couple 75s, but he had 6 90s and 3 87 pluses. So pretty good depth there. The couple weak at the 3rd quarterback and 4th running back, but as long as your starters are good and you don't have depth issues all the way through, that's not too bad. So number 3, Green Machine. He also had quite a bit of high 80s and 90s. So I liked his depth quite a bit, especially at running backs and wide receivers. His second and third quarterbacks were pretty weak, but his 2 tight ends I thought were very solid. So I like them as well. Number 2, LA Lions. This guy, I mean, his lowest ranking was 77 and a 78. Everything else above that I had at an 80 plus. So that's why he ended up at number 2. And number 1, Mile High Club. I mean, his lowest ranking is a 78, and after that, everything was an 82 and above for me. So that's the list. Like I said, I mean, I had the Mile High at 88.93 and number 10. Where'd number 10 go? Who did I have at 10, guys? You guys remember?
I do not. I know we had it. Was it Renfrodo?
No, that was Terrence's team.
Oh,
Oh, here we go. It was
right,
Hasta
Hasta
baby.
La Vista.
Hasta La Vista.
Yeah, so and they were at 82.79. So we're talking between first and last 6 points. It's nothing, really. You know what I mean? So
So
a couple of
anybody-
injuries away from that swap,
anybody
so.
anybody can take that number
yeah.
1 spot, and I think everybody's roster right now, in my opinion, I don't think Trevor's team, which is the teal curtain, I don't think he's set up for success too much into the future, but he can definitely compete now. He definitely has that roster, and it's funny that you have number 1 and number 2. I'll just say Mile High and Lions. What is it, LA Lions?
Yeah.
Those are the 2 teams in the championship last year.
Okay.
One with
all
our
right.
guest here taking over the squad, Tom. So that was one of his squads. So again, I mean, his roster contains what, 2 or 3 rookies. You probably put
Yeah, I
one
got a
of them
couple.
in your flat or your
I've
taxi
got-
squad.
I've got a couple in my taxi, actually.
Yeah.
I've got 2 in
So
my
again,
taxi.
you're just inheriting a team. I mean, that could have been the team that you drafted, but I mean,
Sure.
you got big shoes to fill. And
Right.
it's not just about that redraft, right? It's that, I mean, I saw Matthew Stafford, Derek Carr. Those are my boys. Again, 1 injury away, don't have much, right? I mean, I'm hoping for big things. I mean, that could be the Super Bowl matchup. Just saying. Raise
Definitely
Derek
could
Carr,
be. Yeah.
Derek Carr and Matt Stafford are Iron Men. They don't exit games.
All right,
the thing I thought,
let me go ahead and pause there, guys. So we're gonna have a part 2. Hopefully we can get everything wrapped up in that final podcast there. So just please hold. If you don't get the link, I'll send it out. But stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.